The Dwell Design Leaders film series is brought to you by HP. The computer is personal again.
Corten steel, black polished concrete, aluminum planters, Mexican feathergrass. I think the thing that makes us different than other landscape architects is I think we're really based in a sort of architecture of the land, and it's very clean, but I don't think it's cold. There's just enough there to be interesting, to have layers, to feel different in different seasons, but not feel overdone. We keep this part hidden because it's always a mess. This is our materials library. I've got stone, I've got steel, I've got wood, I've got concrete. My favorite material right now is Corten steel. I really love Corten steel. What it can do is it can provide grade changes, but with the thinnest of edges. So for me, it's more like being able to draw on the land rather than having this big, like heavy concrete or stone wall. So here, this is all done with a Corten edge. This, you don't even see that it looks very graphic. But then when you're in the space, that's actually holding up, 18 inches or 2 feet of soil. So I love that idea of that element of surprise, and that this edge here is actually one of these edges there, but it disappears. I love the fact that each place has its own spirit or essence that we can work with and enhance. These are Japanese anemones, so the idea is that these come up and above and they die back in the winter time, but you get for about a month and a half this they're called wind flowers, so they move in the wind. You come up with the idea and then you layer on the details to create a richness of the palette. Rain falls on top of these polished black concrete and reflects the sky. This became a much more quiet way of addressing that idea of reflection and expansion. We have different tools which we can use to blur boundaries. I personally like to use things that are translucent, and that was kind of the genesis for this screen. It's backlit most of the day. It just glows. This sort of stacked up plane of these planters mimic the compression that you would see from hills sort of banked up against one another in the distance. And each one of them is planted with a different succulent, a different variety. And also the other thing that I really love about it is the grasses are moving. This is a Mexican feathergrass, and it's just always moving in the wind, and just that movement, it's just magical up there. That little touch of nature in an urban environment just becomes so calming. And so if we can take that essence and sort of encapsulate it in these smaller spaces, then I think they really provide a great deal of comfort and solace. I mean, it is a growing system, and you can only control it to a certain degree. And after that, you just kind of have to let it go.